Hey, welcome to installment number 11 in the 30 Ways to Become an Empowered Artist series. I'm Bob Baker, and man, this topic today is one that I could really use because I find myself falling victim to it all the time. So this is as much a message to myself as it is to you. Before I get to that, though, I want to ask you, how would you like to get your name listed in my next book? How would you like to join a private Facebook group dedicated to this topic of the empowered artist? How would you like to join me on a free teleclass that I'll be holding in the next 2 or 3 months? Well, those are just some of the perks that you can get when you support my current fan funding campaign, also known as crowdsourcing. But if you're watching this before July 2nd, 2014, please click the link somewhere on this page to find how you can support me in this effort. It's a new book called The Empowered Artist, but it's much bigger than that. It's a mission to inspire and empower creative people around the world. But go to the link to learn more about it. So here's another attitude that truly empowered artists, the most successful creative people, have learned to embrace. But it's a tough one because, as I mentioned, I struggle with it too. What I'm talking about is you get sidetracked by how something's going to get done. You get a vision for something, and a lot of creative people do. They get an idea for a book, or, boy, I would really love to do an album. I would love to do an art showing. I'd like to put on a play. And right as this excited idea and this vision is starting to overwhelm you, suddenly there's this thought, well, how am I going to do that? I've never done that before. I know nothing about that. That's going to be hard. And you start focusing on how you're going to pull this thing off, and you don't know the answers, and it's confusing. And so, well, I'm going to do a little research. I'm going to take some classes. I'm going to do this and that. And before you know it, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years have gone by. You still don't know how to do it. You still ain't getting it done. You're not serving the world at your highest level of achievement here. So the theme here was actually used in a song that my girlfriend and I wrote. It was called Just Do It, but in the bridge there's some lines that go, focus on the what, focus on the why, but don't get stuck in the how. I'll even repeat that. Focus on the what, focus on the why, but don't get stuck in the how. Because it's the what and the why in particular that are driving you, that are pulling you toward this vision. The how is going to stall you. It's like driving with the emergency brake on. Yes, eventually you're going to have to deal with the how. You're going to have to figure out the steps that you can take. But initially, don't get stuck there to where it stalls you. And that why part is a huge part of the equation here. So let's just take, for example, what is the thing you want to do? Well, I want to publish a book. Why? Well, because by sharing my story of how I overcome this particular challenge, it will help other people who are facing the same thing and allow them to prosper more in their lives. Awesome. Awesome. That's a strong why. Stay focused on that book and your vision and your mission to help people. Here's another one. Well, what do you want to do? I want to create a music album. Awesome. Why? Because the songs I plan on putting on my album are going to help people distress and relax and lower their blood pressure and improve their lives because of the calming effect that my particular style of music has. Awesome. Stay focused on that vision, whether or not you know how it's going to get done or not. You know, when I first wanted to self-publish my own book back in the 90s, I did not know how to get a regular paperback or a hardback book into print. It was very difficult back then because it was before the digital age and print on demand and all this stuff. So I just kind of did what I could. I actually put my first self-published book, the Guerrilla Music Marketing Handbook, I published it in a 3-ring binder, taking some articles I had written and putting them in there with 3-hole punch paper. It was sort of my minimum viable product, which I talked about in an earlier segment. But I got it out there, and eventually, as technology improved, I began to learn about preparing a book for a printer and all the steps that it would take to get it into a normal paperback format. But I didn't let the confusion that I was experiencing about how this was going to get published into a physical form, I didn't let that stop me, and neither should you. I don't know if you've ever heard of Marie Forleo, but she's sort of this really smart and savvy businesswoman who caters primarily to female entrepreneurs, but she has a slogan that I love. She says, everything is figure-outable. Let me repeat that because it's just fun to say. Everything is figure-outable. As long as you know what you want to do, and especially the reason why and how it's going to help humanity and other people and so on, how it's going to improve your life, As long as you know what that why is, you know what the thing is, the physical expression of it, then you can figure out the details along the way, little by little, step by step. So think about something that you've been working on for a while that's been kind of stalled. Is there a project that maybe you haven't gotten out into the world, you have not been able to fully breathe life into because you didn't know exactly how you were going to get it done? Well, what is that thing? And most importantly, why does it deserve to get out in the world? How is it going to help people? Why do you want this thing to exist? If there's a strong enough why there, you can figure out how the what is going to happen. I hope you followed me there. So I'm not going to belabor the point. I think you get this. Focus on the what, focus on the why, but don't get stuck in the how, because everything is figure outable. Any thoughts on this? Feel free to comment wherever you can comment on this page. And as I've mentioned in every video, please support the Empowered Artist fan funding campaign that I'm currently running through July 2nd, 2014. I would love your support. I would love for you to share this with people, talk about it. It's a message that I think the world needs to hear. That's my big why. My big what is the book. It's the movement. My big why is because artists need this. The world needs this. And so with your help, I'll be able to figure out how. You can be part of the how this gets out into the world. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I'll talk to you again tomorrow with another tip for creative people just like you. Bob Baker saying so long for now.